All right, we are back with Chris Dickerson at the All-Star event in Tucson, Arizona. Chris, how does it feel to be in Arizona?
It feels really good. You know, whenever I left our house, it was in the 30s or lower. So, yeah, it's a little different weather out here.
You're driving a new RV. Did you happen to drive through the snowstorm that hit most of the country last week?
No, I think we drove through what was left of it. So there was a lot of snow piled up like on the sides, but not very bad conditions at all.
So how is driving that compared to the old truck and trailer?
It's a little different. It's a little bit wider, so it just took a little bit of getting used to. Other than that, it was smooth sailing.
Yep, and I see you're towing a new car behind that. Are you guys excited to have a new style of travel in the 2022 season?
Yeah, pulling the truck and trailer, you know, it's a lot more work, I've found out, to unhook the trailer, set it up, than it is just to pull an RV into a site. And you know, that allows us to stop in between places so we can get food and stuff like that a lot easier.
Right on. Well, I'm sure everyone really wants to hear about Discraft and your new sponsorship. So Tell us about that. How are the discs feeling? How excited are you to start throwing them this weekend?
I'm very excited. I haven't played disc golf in like 3 or 4 days, so I'm really itching to get out to the course today as soon as it opens.
What are some of the things that are going to be essential in your bag this weekend to get you through this open bomber course we have out here?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the course, so open and bomber, I would say the Force. That's a disc I've been working with. I've got some overstable ones, some that are beat in to like straight to understable, so yeah, I think that'll be the one.
Right on. Well, we have our two team captains as Eagle and Calvin, players you know very well and you've played with many times. Which side of things are you hoping to be on there?
You know, me and Calvin have been friends for a very long time, so, I mean, it would just be wrong to say, you know, I want to be anywhere other than Calvin's team.
So you're saying Eagle might try and pick you just to try and get in Calvin's head?
No, not that. We really haven't discussed it. At least I haven't discussed it with any other players. I thought about messaging Calvin and saying, hey, am I going to be your first pick or what? But no, we'll just see what happens. But I would love to be on Calvin's team.
Well, we hope the best for you there. Anything else you'd like to add that you're looking forward to in the 2022 season, Chris?
You know, just getting out and playing disc golf.
Well, it's great to have you back on the road with us, and good luck out there this weekend. We'll see you at the draft.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Lisa Fajkus at the All-Stars event in Tucson, Arizona. Lisa, welcome. How was your drive here? Did you drive or fly?
I drove. It was really nice. I had a short drive, 6 hours from Las Vegas. Not bad.
Okay, were you staying in Las Vegas in the off-season or just kind of there temporarily?
I was staying in Las Vegas. Yeah, mostly in the off-season.
Cool, cool. Is that new for you, or have you been there for a little while now?
I've been there since last off-season as well. I spent last off-season in Vegas, as well as a little bit back in Texas visiting. So, yeah, doing a lot of training back there.
Great, great. So I want to ask you a little bit about the skills competition here and what you're looking forward to. You're known as one of the better putters on tour. Is that something you're hoping to excel at this weekend during the skills competition?
Yeah, I'm excited about putting for sure. That's always something to be extra excited for. A lot of practice going in to sharpen my putting up, so I'm feeling confident in that. And the other skills competition should be really fun too, but putting is the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Great. We have a long season ahead of us. This is a great way to kick it off at this beautiful spot here in Tucson. We have Worlds this year in Kansas. Last year, Worlds, you were in the running. Is that motivation being so close going to give you any extra motivation to push for that, one time this year?
It doesn't hurt at all. I definitely have fond memories of Utah Worlds, and that motivates me big time to push myself even harder to crack into the top again and put myself in position for a W.
Great. Well, something else we've noticed from you is you happen to excel really well at Silver Series events. Is your schedule full of all the Silver Series events this year? Are you planning on dominating those again?
I will be at quite a few Silver Series events, that's for sure. And, I love playing those because they're kind of in between the elite Disc Golf Pro Tour events, the bigger Elite Series ones, and they're a good way to fill in the tour. And, so I'll be playing some of those, but not all of them.
Speaking of non-Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite events, we saw that you started the season in Maricopa just a few weeks ago, or relatively recently.
Yep.
Had a top 10 finish there. How was that event?
It was really, really windy. Unfortunately, the day one of the tournament, but besides that, beautiful out there, great time, fun courses. It was awesome seeing some ladies again out there, some cool competitors, and had a really great time. And the course was demanding, especially the first day, a lot of out of bounds. But it was a really good warm-up event. Showed me I need to be humble and keep practicing.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm sure it's a little bit of a change of pace coming from Maricopa Open to something like DGPT All-Stars. Kind of an interesting component to this year's All-Stars. There's a draft where captains will be allowed to kind of select their players. How do you feel about the draft? How do you feel about, how captains might be thinking about it? What are your general thoughts on the draft component?
Well, first of all, I love it. I love that it's something kind of different to throw in there, a new spin for this event. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't have to make the picks, so no pressure for me. I just wait to be picked. And, it's going to be fun to see how the teams shape up and how that kind of shapes the rest of the weekend.
Absolutely. And whoever does end up drafting, you will definitely have an asset in the putting competition later in the week.
That's right.
Doubles on Saturday. Do you have anybody that you would love to be partnered with? Let's say you could pick anybody in the field to be your doubles partner for Saturday.
I can't think of a bad partner. Everyone here is amazing. All the competitors are so good. They're beyond good. I would love to be partnered with Heather Young, Rebecca Cox, anyone really. But those girls are awesome, fun spirits, and really good games. But I can't go wrong with a partner.
Absolutely. And, being an all-star, does that bring a little bit of significance to you as you think about being a 2021 season Disc Golf Pro Tour all-star? Does that kind of imbue you with a sense of pride or ownership over a title like that?
There's some pride being an all-star because I had to earn this, just like the other all-stars did, by the Disc Golf Pro Tour points throughout the whole season. So it kind of shows your consistency throughout the year, and it's not just given out or to anyone, but yeah, you have to go out and earn it. So there's a lot of pride in that.
And I'm sure, lots of motivation as you head into another season of Disc Golf Pro Tour action. You mentioned earlier that you've spent a lot of time this offseason in Las Vegas. Do you feel particularly prepared for the first big real event of the season with the Las Vegas Challenge coming up here in a few weeks?
Well, I've been living in Vegas, but I haven't had as many reps on the Wild Horse course. It's not set up in the tournament layout yet, but I have been practicing out there. I've been getting reps in, but I wouldn't say I'm more inclined to protect home turf or anything like that. But I did feel that last year a bit, because I didn't get in a lot of practice rounds, and I was like, okay, I have I'm ready, and it kind of backfired on me. So this round or this year, I'm kind of more laid back on it, but knowing that I'm very familiar with the course. So Wild Horse is kind of hard though because it's 3 different courses, so it's a little bit difficult to have them all kind of dialed in your memory. But for the most part, it's similar shots. You might fall in love with one disc over and over out there. So I've been doing a lot of field work in preparation, and yeah, I'm excited definitely to kick off the year at the LVC.
Absolutely. And just to follow up on something you said, you mentioned you might fall in love with one disc out there. Do you find yourself gravitating, in the past, have you found yourself gravitating to a particular mold or a particular disc that's performing well for you on a course like Wild Horse?
Yeah, on a course like Wild Horse, I'm looking for max distance. It depends on the wind. If the wind's low, I'm going Star Strike for getting that max distance. And if the wind picks up, I might need to fight it a little bit. I might reach for a Halo or a Champion turn for the most part. Even disc up even more if the winds get crazy, like a Destroyer or something.
Absolutely, and the winds can definitely get crazy out at Wild Horse.
For sure.
One kind of final question for me is, headed into a new season, do you have any big goals, big expectations, or anything that's kind of in the back of your head that you want to accomplish blank in 2022?
I don't have any any of that per se, but my main thing is focusing what I can do to be better than last year. Just putting in more work, putting in more practice, and trying to be the best player I can. But just putting myself out there week in and week out and seeing what happens.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, we're excited to see you play this weekend in All-Stars, and excited to see what you do the rest of the way. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back here at the All-Star event. We are here with Ezra Aderhold. Welcome, Ezra. I want to start out by asking about your off-season. How did things go? Are you feeling rejuvenated, ready for the 2022 season?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good off-season, kind of boring, just a lot of practice. Made some YouTube videos, some social media content. Honestly, I'm just kind of excited to get back out on tour and playing different courses every week and just kind of getting back into that grind. So.
Cool. I heard you might have a new someone you're touring with this year as a new caddy.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I got the RV from Discraft last offseason and toured around just by myself, which was fun, I still hung out with buddies. But my brother was actually going to be moving in with me. So he's going to be caddying for me and helping out a little bit with social media. So it'll be a nice weight off my back to have him carrying the bag and kind of weigh in on shot selection and things like that.
Very cool. Does he have a background in disc golf at all, or is he just kind of getting into the sport?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, like back when I started playing, my brothers and my dad and I kind of started together, so he knows a little bit. He watches a decent amount of disc golf, so he knows, kind of the ins and outs, and he knows the courses already. He's really big into ball golf, too, so he knows, kind of course management really well, so that'll help a lot, and just kind of how to read certain situations and help out with that.
Right on. Well, we're looking forward to seeing him out there with you.
Yeah.
Last year, your performance at Vegas, you had an extremely high-rated round. You had a really good tournament.
Yeah.
Does that give you extra confidence moving into this year, as Vegas being the first elite event of the season?
I think it does for sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I just feel like the course is set up super well to my game, so I know that if I play well, I'll have a chance at winning again. And also just coming off of the off season, I think having a break between a tournament helps me as well. I go back to some of my best finishes last season, and I usually had an off week beforehand. So I think having the off season right before a big tournament like Vegas will help as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that Vegas, lends itself to those open bomber shots, something you have a really strong game repertoire in your game with.
Yeah.
Are there any other skills that you've been working on in the off season this year
Yes.
to bring to the table for the 2022 season?
Yeah, so I think one of my biggest weaknesses last season was just kind of hitting different angles. I'm kind of known as like the Heisel only guy, so I'll just throw Heisels, which you can kind of get away with on most courses. But I've been kind of putting a lot of time this offseason into throwing like Heisels and flat shots. So I'm a lot more confident with those shots. So I think when I get on courses where I can't just throw a Heisel, I think my game will be a lot more improved. And then I've also been kind of working on my putt, straightening my finish out as well. I think one of the things I did last year was kind of finish off to the left. People maybe know. So I kind of straightened that out, and I'm hoping that'll give me some more consistency as well.
Yeah, well, after Vegas, we move into Texas, and we know the courses there in wooded.
Yeah.
Take a lot of shot shaping skills, so we're excited to see those
Exactly.
skills come into play there.
Exactly.
You got in as an alternate to this event.
Yeah.
What was it like getting that call from Jeff Spring and saying, hey, you're an all-star, you're part of this?
It was sweet. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, everybody would like to see Paul and Ricky playing, and competing. Those kind of get the most views. But, selfishly, obviously, I'm happy that they dropped out and kind of opened a spot up so that I can play at this awesome event.
And does it bring any extra significance being a DGPT All-Star? Is it something you can kind of take pride in as you look back on 2021 and the season you had last year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, only 12 guys get to play. So to be, kind of among that elite group it's honoring, honestly. And I think as this event just continues to grow, it'll be even more special.
Absolutely, and this year's event is a little different than how All-Stars has ran in years past. The draft component is a brand new element. Players will be drafted by the team captains in a snake draft format. What are your thoughts on the draft component? How do you feel about it?
I like it. I mean, I think I'm kind of thinking of this as like a little bit like a Ryder Cup in golf. So I think, being an all-star event, I think it's supposed to be just kind of a fun event, give the fans something to look forward to and kind of an interesting format. So I think in that sense, it'll be really cool. We don't really have team events in disc golf, so I'm looking forward to the change of pace.
It is a brand new type of event, right? And
Yeah.
You just mentioned the Ryder Cup. Do you think that team captains should be looking to something like the Ryder Cup to inform strategy as we head into the first All-Star weekend?
I hope so, man. I sure hope so. I don't know. We'll see.
Whoever your team captain is.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I want my team captain to look into it, and maybe the other one not so much.
Absolutely. Speaking of, the different format and new things with All-Stars this year, the skills competition, another new piece of it, that'll be on Friday. Are you just a lock for the long drive contest?
I hope so. I mean, I could see the team captain throwing me in one of the other events, but I feel like, if we want the best chance for me to do well, I think the distance has got to be what I compete in. We'll see.
Absolutely, and in turn, hopefully, best chance for your team to do well.
Exactly.
And additionally, doubles coming on Saturday. Is there anybody in the field that you just love being on a card with, and would love to be your doubles partner? Do you have someone that's like your dream doubles partner?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the guys are super good, so it'd be cool to play with any of them. But I'm probably the best buds with Adam, so if I could get paired up with Adam Hammis, I think that'd be a really fun round.
That'd be a dangerous duo. Good putter, good driver.
Exactly.
Hard to beat. Lastly, just kind of want to transition away from All-Stars, headed into a new year in 2022.
Yeah.
Are there any big goals, predictions, things that you're thinking about is I want to accomplish blank by the end of the season?
Yeah, so my goals aren't super traditional. Obviously I want to be getting wins. I want to be, finishing at the top and being on lead calls and things like that. But as far as like actual goals, I kind of want to manage my expectations this season. I think that kind of shot me in the foot at the beginning of last season after Vegas. I kind of thought I was a lot better than I was, and so I kind of had a stretch where I didn't play too well. So I kind of want to manage those expectations and just, do a better job of just having fun on tour and keeping my mindset a little bit more positive and just kind of enjoying being out there. I think that's going to translate to better rounds and just kind of stick to the process. And I think the season will kind of, fill itself out that way.
A more relaxed and focused Ezra is a pretty dangerous prospect for the field.
I'm hoping so.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You could see Ezra this weekend in the skills competition in doubles and in singles on Saturday during DGPT All-Star Weekend. Thanks for joining us.
I'm excited, man. Thanks.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here joined with Rebecca Cox at the All-Stars competition. Rebecca, let's start off by talking about the off-season. Any highlights, anything noteworthy? Where'd you spend your off-season?
I spent most of my off-season in Kernersville, North Carolina. I think this is actually my most productive off-season I've had, since I ever started touring. I commit to a workout routine, which in previous off-seasons I would usually do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but this past one I just really commit to the gym, trying to get toned and a little strengthening exercises, and also just working on my mental game and stuff too. Oh, and I also changed my putt. So I really did a lot.
Wow, that sounds like a packed off season.
Yeah.
What about your putt have you changed, and how is that going to impact your performance in the 2022 season, do you think?
Well, I switched from a push putt to a spin putt, which was a very strange change for me because the past 17 years of playing disc golf, I've only had a push putt. So I think the spin putt's going to really work out for me just because we're really out in the elements a lot, and a spin putt is really more beneficial in a lot of situations. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, in the skills competition coming up, there's a putting competition within that, so we'll be looking forward to seeing your new putt during that competition. Any other skills competitions you're looking forward to into particular?
Well, I think I'm just looking forward to it all. I've been working on my run-up for the past couple years, so my distance has gotten a lot better, and shot shaping has always been my bread and butter, throwing in the woods and stuff, so I think that's probably where I'll shine the best.
Cool. There's also a doubles format, as you know. We know you have some experience playing doubles in a competitive format, as you've done on skins matches in the past and such. Are you looking forward to that? What is it about doubles that kind of changes the feeling of the round for you?
Doubles is just so much fun because you're just right there with your partner, and whoever I'm matched with, it's just going to be such a great time, and the dynamic is so different because you get to play off of your partner's skills and just really plan for different kinds of things than you would in singles.
Right on. Texas State's last year, we saw a great performance out of you. It's an Elite Series again this year. Going back to the woods, are you looking forward to that swing in Texas? And what are some of the other events you're looking forward to coming up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am looking forward to pretty much everything, but like I said, the woods is my bread and butter, so I look forward to going to Waco, Green Mountain, Idlewild, just all these great courses that I only get to see once a year.
Absolutely. And, just kind of transitioning back to the off season a little bit, we've seen you spend a lot of time with Nathan Queen after his tour championship victory and throughout the off season. Are you guys dealing with any disc golf paparazzi when you visit courses? Do you get recognized ever or anything like that?
Well, it's funny because some people will recognize me, but he for sure gets recognized every single time we go out. And it's funny because sometimes people will literally just walk right past me and go up to him and be like, "I've never met a pro in real life before." And I'm like, "What am I, chopped liver?" So I guess I'm just going to have to win an event or something for people to recognize me. But for sure, whenever we go out to courses, it's just so much fun seeing not only how many people are out there playing, but just how excited they are to see just Nathan playing their course that they go to.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you just mentioned maybe you need to win a tournament or something.
Yeah.
This year you're an all-star, and so that brings some added significance to your 2021 season. Do you feel like being an all-star brings some additional pride to you as you head into a new year?
Yeah, I actually got kind of lucky being an all-star this year. I know some people are bummed Kristen Tatar's not going to be here, but I just had to take advantage of this incredible opportunity, and I think I'm just going to do just as well. So I'm pretty excited.
For sure. And you just mentioned it. You an alternate for the event. What was it like to get that call from Jeff that said, "Hey, you're in. Come on over"?
I was not expecting it. It was just some random morning where he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to All-Stars?" And I was like, "Nathan, what are we going to do? We didn't plan for this." So he's like, "You have to go. You have to go to this." So just getting that text was so cool, and I wasn't expecting it. It was definitely a really fun surprise for me.
That's awesome. And All-Stars is kind of different this year. There's some new pieces to the format, and it is a little bit of a new event. One of those new components is the draft, which will be happening on Thursday night, where Paige and Katrina will kind of pick their players. How do you feel about the draft, kind of the new components in general? Is it something that is exciting or intimidating even?
I think it's a little bit of both, but honestly for me, I think it's just more exciting. whatever happens, I mean, I'll be just fine wherever I go, but it's going to be really, really cool. I've never played a format like this before, and I'm just looking forward to, what teams they're going to choose and, who am I going to be up against. And I don't know, I'm just excited for all of it.
It's also new, too, and
yeah.
You just mentioned it. What teams will you be on? Where will you be placed? And all these different factors that play into it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're a value in any of the particular skills competitions? I know you mentioned shot shaping maybe is a strength in your game. So how would you kind of see yourselves fitting into the 3 skills challenges being putting, shot shaping, and distance?
Right. Well, like I said before, I think shot shaping will probably be where I shine the most. But honestly, I've been working on my game a lot, and one of my goals in disc golf is to be like one of the more well-rounded players. So just having every kind of shot I can in my bag. So wherever they put me, I think I'll be fine. But I think shot shaping is probably where I'm where I'm going to be the best at. But wherever they put me, I'm excited for.
Absolutely. And, you talked a little bit about having some of that doubles experience earlier and how it'll be fun no matter who you're matched up with. But I have to ask, is there anybody that you would just love to be partnered with for doubles Saturday?
Okay. Definitely Kona Panis, because the entire time I've been on tour and she's been on tour, we have never ever been teammates before. So it's going to be so cool because I don't really get to see a lot of my teammates on tour a lot. I mean, there are a couple, but especially just being a Latitude player, there's Asai Nanda and Kristen Tatar, and I don't really get to see those guys a lot. So just getting to play with someone who is such a close friend of mine, and we actually get to play with the same plastic, that's going to be really, really fun if that happens.
Absolutely. I imagine that'll be a blast, and we're excited to watch it if that happens. You can catch Rebecca this weekend during DGPT All-Stars. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And welcome back. We are here joined by Kevin Jones. Kevin, welcome. How was your off season?
Thank you. It's good, man. Really nice off season. By the way, Woo Pig in the chat, taking down number 1 yesterday.
There you go. You have a new house.
It's great, man. It was a nice off season. Having a home base, not having my van so packed out with stuff. It was good.
Yeah. How does it feel to be a homeowner?
Oh, it feels so good, actually. It feels really good. Disc golf is amazing. So I'm so lucky.
Any highlights in the off season, or just kind of relaxed, took it mellow?
I took it really easy. I've taken off seasons and hammered out practice daily, and I've benefited heavily from that. But this year, I didn't think I would benefit as heavily. I think I would benefit more from taking time off and recouping that fire that keeps me going through tour.
Right on. Tell me about your travel here. You're still in your van again this year. I know there was a giant storm that impacted a lot of people's travel in this country. Were you able to beat that storm, or?
Yeah, so it seems like almost every year we have some storm rolling through, like Texas and the Midwest even, in February. So again, this year there was a storm going to roll through. It was supposed to be really, really bad. So I got out of there just in time, missed it by about an hour, no exaggeration, and luckily just had a smooth drive all the way to Tucson from North Carolina.
Well, glad you made it here smoothly. I hear you have a new hobby of doing some rock climbing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I picked up the bouldering, and it's so much fun. I'm doing it for like health reasons and like physical reasons more so. I think it's really benefiting me right now on the course for like having really stable joints, so that when I can sling my sidearms, it don't hurt my elbow or my shoulder. I seem like my arms are really, really nice and tight right now. So I like that a lot, and it's just amazing as well to like be faced with these different problems that are all different levels and be able to accomplish them. It's similar to the addiction of disc golf.
Very cool. Well, it's always fun to find a new hobby in life. Speaking of hobbies, music is another big one for you. Tell me, have you been producing any music in the off season, or what are your plans? Do you have any shows planned for 2022?
Oh, the Preserve's going down this year. If you come to the Preserve, you can almost guarantee that we're going to have a show in the woods. But I didn't do anything crazy this off season. It's really time consuming to produce music for me because it just takes me a long time. But I've probably made 5 new songs this off season, so not non-existent.
Well, I'm sure everyone's looking forward to hearing those eventually. 2021, you had some great performances. There were also a bunch of events where you were really close, and there was always one hole that kind of just took it out for you. What are some changes in 2022 that are going to help you get over that hump and get back on track to winning some Elite Series events?
I don't know if I'm looking to change too much coming into this year. I think I can see a lot of positives from last year. I'm in it and have a chance to win many tournaments all year long, and that's all I can ask for. The year before, I happened to pull out a couple dubs, and I mean, that's great. But when I look back on last year, I just don't see it as too different. I think I played almost even better last year than the year before, arguably, in my opinion. So I'm not worried about it. I am thinking I'm going to be a little more experienced this year, a little more level-headed, and I expect to see that improve my scores as well. Just want to be up at the top as much as possible.
That seems like a very positive outlook and way to attack the 2022 season. Just looking at this weekend, are you excited for the All-Stars event? Anyone in particular you're looking to be partnered with in the doubles?
Not necessarily. I'm very excited about the format, and I'm absolutely excited and feel really honored to be here competing. It's already been a really great day. This is the third checklist of the media stuff for me. I started with the cinematic interview and then went to the cameras where they have a sweet RGB light setup and amazing camera operators in there. So I look forward to seeing that content. But it just seems really professional, and I'm very thankful to the Pro Tour.
Right on, Kevin. Well, you are always one of the people that I think of making insane skill shots out on the course during tournaments when I think of that. In the competition, the skill competition, there's a putting section where there are going to be kind of these shots in and around objects. Are you looking forward to cleaning up on that one and and really making some of these cool shots?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know exactly what kind of what these competitions are going to look like exactly, but when it comes down to it, I'm really well-rounded, and I'll be able to manage. I can win any of them, so I'm excited for it.
Hey, Kevin.
Howdy.
I wanted to circle back real quick to your first event of the season, which I saw you beat your buddy Luke Humphreys down in Mexico just a month ago.
What do you know?
How was that? How was it making the trip down south?
Mexico was amazing. It was just like really surprising to go down there and have these people that, you wouldn't think that they were playing a ton of disc golf just because of the amount of courses and maybe the number of members, but they knew my bag better than me, and they knew the discs that were releasing this year, and they're just some disc golf nerds down there. So shout out to them. That was so much fun. That tournament was great too. We just had, there's so much to talk about. We got taken really good care of us down there. We had a nice Airbnb. We got to go out for dinner 2 nights with pretty much everybody that came to the tournament, and everybody was just so happy, so thankful, and I was too, especially to put my Spanish to work. It's always nice to speak Spanish.
That's right, because you are fairly fluent in Spanish, right?
Yes, extremely conversational, I would say.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like that was a great event and a really nice just way to kind of kick off the season for you. New season, new contract. Prodigy, you signed a new extension with them in the off-season. Are you excited, or how excited are you about that extension and kind of the next phase of your partnership with Prodigy?
I couldn't be more excited. It just opens up a bunch of opportunities. Now we have 4 years to put together something amazing out there for me, for the fans, for Prodigy throwers. So we're going to see discs that are under my line, named after sound design stuff, like the reverb and distortion are going to be the first 2 discs released, and we'll keep adding to that, maybe a putter coming up next. But it's going to be great. 4 years of Prodigy taking stress off of my shoulders and letting me just play disc golf.
I imagine that is definitely a relief to kind of be able to focus on the golf as you head into another touring season. Circling back to this event, you mentioned it. It's weird. It's kind of a new format, and it's pretty exciting. It's a team format, so with that comes a little bit of strategy in how captains are assigning players to different skills competitions, assigning partners for doubles. Do you have any opinions on the strategy, or is that something you're just going to leave up to your captain?
I guess I'll just leave that one up to my captain. All I know is last year, comparing how I felt, like skill-wise or playing-wise, I feel much better this year. And last year, I let Ricky down, feel horrible about it. It's the last thing I want to do, especially coming from team sports. You want to do your job, and not make it be your fault, basically. And last year was my fault. This year it's not going to be.
That's great.
Sorry
you love to hear it. That's great. That's such a great outlook to have. Another new component of this year is the draft. Last year you were randomly assigned with Ricky, right? It was it wasn't something where there was a draft component involved. So are you excited about the draft? Do you like that as an addition to All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, that's going to be sweet. It's like playground style, Just line up, who's going to be picked first. I don't know. I think I might be a late pick, but that's a steal.
Who do you think is probably going to be one of the first picks if you think you're going later in the draft?
So who are electing? Who are choosing?
Eagle and Calvin will be drafting.
Oh, never mind then. So Calvin might pick me first because Calvin's my boy. Don't tell him I said that though. We'll see.
Keep it under wraps.
I would. I would love to play on either of their teams though. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like Adam could go first because he's been playing tournaments. Drew as well would be a popular pick probably.
I know lots of disc golf fans are filling out their mock drafts and are very excited about the draft component. So definitely an exciting new piece of All-Star Weekend. I guess my last question would just kind of be looking at the season ahead. You had a top 10 finish at Las Vegas last year. Are you looking at that event as something that could be kind of a coming out party, or are you just kind of looking at the season as a whole with more of a step back, relaxed approach as you were talking about earlier?
Well, it definitely could be a coming out party. It's a really long open course. very thrower friendly, but it's also the most nerve-wracking event of the year by far for me. First event, haven't played a tournament. I mean, I played that tournament in Mexico, but I mean, I forgot about that one. It's just different playing a pro tier event and playing a C tier. It's not comparable. But with that being said, you want a solid finish at this first tournament of the year. So I expect top 10 for sure, but you still got to play really good for that.
Absolutely. Looking for a solid finish in Vegas, looking for a team win at All-Star Weekend. You can see Kevin Jones Friday, Saturday, and Sunday during Disc Golf Network's All-Star Weekend. Thanks so much for joining us, Kevin.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with Paul Ulibarri. Paul, welcome to Tucson. This is a place that's probably pretty familiar with you, being kind of a local. Is it good to be in town? Tell me about what the differences are between playing in this area and Phoenix.
Oh, absolutely. So, no, I came here a lot during the last 15 years. I have a lot of family that lives out here. Not as much as, like, the Phoenix area, but, I mean, it's Arizona, that's, like, this is my spot.
Right on. How was the offseason for you? What was your routine like, and are there any changes for your plans in 2022?
Offseason was awesome. It was really busy. I had a lot of different things to take care of. Got a house up in Rock Hill now, so that was a little bit stressful during the offseason. But, I mean, the normal stuff. I practiced a little bit here and there. I got back in the gym a bit to get ready for this season. As far as this season goes, no, it's pretty much the same plan as last year. Hopefully not as busy, but I usually have a lot of irons in the fire. So
very cool. Your brother Pete was the main designer of this course and layout here. Do you think that's going to give you any inside knowledge or benefit on the course here?
Well, I know it's going to be a good course. My brother's very talented at course design, so he told me a little bit about the course already, and knowing his course designs, I'm going to be kind of familiar with the bends and the turns, whatever kind of obstacles he puts in our way. So I feel like I do have a small advantage for sure.
Very cool. And you just had an announcement recently, your new contract signed as a team captain of the Discraft team. Tell me about that.
Oh, that was huge, yeah. So I just got the 5-year extension on my contract. Super big. I mean, that's taking me till I think I'm 38, so I feel like I tricked him a little bit there.
With that new contract, is anything in particular that's exciting? New discs, new molds, things that you might be kind of working on with that new deal?
Yeah, there is. So the Captain Raptor just got released at the beginning of the season, and that's it's not a signature disc; it's a one-time release disc per year. And it was a huge success. I mean, we sold a lot of those, and I'm gonna have that for the next 5 years. So a one-time release for 5 years straight, and I mean, it was like I said, a huge success. So thank you to whoever was out there buying those. Hopefully, it keeps on that track and growing and growing.
Another opportunity for fans to get their hands on a Captain's Raptor coming up next year.
Yes,
keep an eye out. Transitioning a little bit to All Stars, new format, team format. Mm-hmm. Lots of new strategy compared to a typical stroke play event.
Yeah.
Is strategizing to something that you feel like you're going to have opinions on, or are you just going to leave that up to your team captains?
Oh, no, that's not my place, man. That's up to the captains for sure.
Sure, absolutely. You're one of the best putters on tour. Do you feel like in the skills competition that you would be a value add in putting as opposed to maybe one of the other skills competitions?
That depends on I don't think any of us has seen the layout of the putting, whatever that competition is, or the skill shot challenge. I think the people that are in this tournament, have those qualities tenfold. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of weak points in any of that. Aside from, definitely don't put me in the long drive competition.
Sure. Yeah, it's one of the, anybody could get hot on a particular
Absolutely.
Day, especially when it comes to something like putting. Another new component of this year is the draft. What are your feelings about that? Is it exciting or nervous or interesting to you at all?
No, I love it. Absolutely. I think that the NBA All-Stars, they do a similar format. And so, I watch that every year, and it's a blast. I think the fans are going to get exactly what they want. And I haven't gotten picked last in anything since I think I was in middle school. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I think I might be a little weak link on this team.
Who do you expect? So you're not expecting to go first. Do you have anybody that you think might be picked first?
Yeah, well, if I put myself in the captain's role, I think, I don't know, Dickerson's looking real nice. Kyle Klein's looking good. So, I mean, it's just stacked teams, you know what I mean? You can't go wrong really all the way down the board.
For sure. And then a kind of a final new component is doubles on Saturday. Yeah. Do you have any experience playing in a doubles format before, or is that something that'll be newer to you?
In a doubles format, absolutely. I played, a few U.S. doubles, I've played mixed doubles a few times. I have a couple world titles in that, and a U.S. title with Big Germ. So I feel like I definitely have some experience in that.
And does doubles kind of bring a different strategy than a typical stroke play? Do you feel like having that experience gives you maybe a little bit of an edge in thinking about, how to attack another team on the course?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I have 2 world titles under my belt. I mean, that's as much pressure as you're ever going to have. 1 U.S. title. I don't know if there's any other doubles tournaments that are bigger than that. So I feel like I'm well qualified for that.
Absolutely. And, finally kind of transitioning away from All-Stars, we're here at the start of a new season.
Mm-hmm.
What are your goals? What are your expectations? On social media, you've talked a lot about, really looking to make a push this year.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like for Paul Ulibarri?
Yeah, I never set expectations. I set goals, and my goals are real simple. I want to kind of come out here relaxed this year. In years past, I've come out kind of stressed about how I'm going to perform. And, I feel like I've had a nice reality check and looking back at my career and realizing, like, my game's not going to go anywhere. It's not like I'm going to forget how to throw a disc straight. And with that mindset, I feel like I could be a little more relaxed. I put a lot of time in this off-season in my Circle 2 putting. That was my main struggle last year. And so if I can gain a couple strokes here and there with that, my season's going to be better, and I'm in the All-Stars, so my season last year couldn't have been that bad.
Absolutely. And, just to follow up, being an All-Star, does that bring you any sense of kind of pride, kind of looking back on that 2021 season, understanding that, you do end up with that recognition as you get to reflect on it in years or in the future?
Loaded question, because we had the two, in my opinion, the 2 best players on the planet drop, and then, that got me up into the conversation of being here. So, but still, I mean, they're not here, and I got the invite, and it's awesome, of course.
Next man up. So we're excited to see you this weekend, Paul, and you can catch Paul Ulibarri at DGPT All-Stars Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Disc Golf Network. Thanks for joining us.
back with Missy Gannon at the Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Stars event. Welcome, Missy.
Thank
How does
you.
it feel to be in sunny Arizona?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm excited to be in warm weather.
Yeah, tell me about your off-season. You were down in Florida for a while?
Yeah, I actually spent most of the off-season in North Carolina. You know, what do you know? Everybody did. But yeah, no, I mean, I had just come from Illinois, so that's why I say that. So most of my off-season has been pretty nice and good weather and good practice.
What do you think it is about North Carolina that so many disc golfers are gravitating there? Kevin Jones just bought a house there. We just talked to Paul Ulibarri. It sounds like he just bought a house there as well. Are you guys looking to do that eventually in North Carolina?
Maybe, you know, who knows? But yeah, it's because of the weather and it's because of the disc golf, and yeah, it's just a great place to be in the off season. That is still really beautiful and wooded, and yeah, it's really nice to practice there.
And speaking of North Carolina and South Carolina, you ended your 2021 season pretty solidly in those states. How does that feel to kind of just reminisce in that whole off-season experience with that in mind, that you had such a solid end of your season?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to kind of go out with a bang, you know, but I think it took a while for it to even settle in that all of that happened. So it was nice to sort of just, you know, live on it and yeah, I mean, now obviously that area is going to hold a special place in my heart between, you know, South Carolina and North Carolina. So, yeah, it was a really nice way to end the season, and I'm just hoping to keep that momentum going into 2022.
Yeah, do you think those performances lit a little bit of a fire to, you know, keep that practice up and keep those skills up and those repetitions up during the off season more than normal for you?
Yeah, I mean, the plan was always to not spend as much time in New York like we normally would for the off season. So that was already our plan before the end of the season even happened. But yeah, I'm very motivated and my confidence is still super high. I think there's always like nerves coming into the new season because, you know, you just sort of start questioning your practice and, you know, how fine-tuned you are. And but I feel better than usual. So, you know, I think that I think this weekend's going to kind of be a nice little test to get back into it. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what this year brings.
Yeah, well, there's going to be so much happening this weekend. There's the skills competition, the doubles. We're all excited for everything happening. You yourself, you know, everyone, I think we think of you as a very well-rounded player in the disc golf world. Is there anything that you've been trying to improve or work on particularly to bring to the 2022 season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my forehand has always been something that I've been wanting to get better at. I want to be able to lean on it more off the tee. I think that I've used it a lot for shorter approach shots, and I feel really comfortable there. But now more than ever, I've put a lot more work into building a more well-rounded forehand instead of just like an overstable hyzer, which is typically what I was doing or using it for. But now I can, you know, kind of use those hyzer flips. I'm learning the angles a little bit better. So yeah, that's going to come in handy. I mean, I was in North Carolina, so I played a lot of wooded golf, and I was able to kind of learn those shot shaping skills on the forehand. So I'm excited to put that into practice this year.
Very cool. We're excited to see it. I've got one more question for you before I pass the mic over to Zach. In 2021, we saw you with a new trailer, a new vehicle, and also a new dog. Yeah. What are we going to see in 2022?
Well, I got a new vehicle, so we have a truck now that we are pulling the trailer with, but that's pretty much the only big changes, I think I would say. So new truck, and, you know, we'll see. We'll see what comes next year.
Maybe another new dog.
Maybe. Tom won't allow it, but...
You know, looking back on your last season, Des Moines Challenge, Disc Golf Pro Tour, Throw Pink, you basically a lock for the All-Star event. Do you see yourself like being recognized as you go to courses now by the growing disc golf community and paparazzi world? Yeah,
definitely a little bit. It was funny. I had an experience this off season where there were a group of people playing, and you know, I think they felt weird saying anything to me, but then afterwards they posted like, oh, I saw Missy at so-and-so at this course, and I was too nervous to say hi. So that was kind of funny. I mean, you know, I still don't really understand, you know, who I am or the impact on the community. So, you know, never never be afraid to approach me. I'm nice, I swear. So
that's something you welcome if fans see you out on the course.
Totally.
Yeah. That's awesome. Looking forward to this event. New format, team format, and lots of strategy that's different than a normal single stroke play event.
Yeah.
Is that something you just leave up to the captains, or have you been thinking about, the different strategic components to the team format?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly haven't given it much thought because I don't have to. I'm just here to play. But if I were either, Kat or Paige, I think that a lot more is going into those decisions than maybe even they're aware of. I'm not really sure. I mean, it depends how much you pay attention to other sports and drafts and stuff like that, so I don't know what their experience is with sort of drafting a team, but that'll be fun to watch, and the fact that it'll kind of be going down live, which is really cool. But obviously I'm good friends with Paige, so it's okay if she doesn't pick me first, but she probably should. But,
Seems like the easy
again,
pick on the board.
It depends. Yes, it depends on strategy. So obviously I'm going to respect whatever she decides. But it'll be really, really cool to see the matchups.
Well, and you mentioned it. Are you excited about the draft component? Is that a welcome addition to All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that, again, for some of the viewers who do sort of follow other sports or like that, or maybe even play, their own sort of fantasy drafts or whatever, like it's kind of cool probably for them to sort of see this kind of format. And again, it's going to be fun once we get the teams together and sort of see the head-to-head competitions go down. So yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. And I'm always welcome. I always welcome new styles and formats. So yeah.
That's great to hear, and it'll be exciting to kind of see the disc golf strategy develop throughout the first All-Star Weekend and a first event of this type. Mm-hmm. Speaking of kind of individualized matchups, the skills competition is another new component of All-Stars Weekend. You have putting, shot shaping, and accurate distance. Do you have your eyes set on any particular skill where you feel like you'd be a value add?
Yeah, I think that I'll always be in the conversation when it comes to putting. It's funny, though, I have to make sure I get into a really competitive mindset, which I think will be easy for me to do, but I tend to, I don't know, I think that when if there's not a lot on the line, I don't necessarily like, I don't know, my putts don't feel as important. Not saying I won't make it, but I think I need to make sure I'm like, okay, there's like $1 million on the line or something. Like, I think I need to make sure I'm in that mindset because, I think it's only going to help me, and I just have to make sure I'm, prepared mentally. But I think that would be good. I would love to see myself in the shot shaping competition too, but I think that it would make the most sense to be the putting competitor.
Well, as a fan, it would definitely be interesting for us to see, your new forehands if you were selected for the shot shaping competition. And then kind of a final new component to this All-Star Weekend is doubles on Saturday. I did a little research but couldn't find if you have had experience with that before. Have you played doubles in kind of a competitive format in the past?
Yeah, I have. Nothing really like sanctioned or, extremely organized, but I have played quite a bit of doubles, I would say, and I love doubles. I think that it gives the competitors an opportunity to be aggressive, and as professionals, I think we should all be aggressive, but again, it'll depend on the situation or what the hole looks like. So I think it's going to be really cool, and I hope that whoever I'm teamed up with will be a really good complement to my game, and it's going to be pretty sweet, I think.
Do you prefer to lay up or run it?
Run it all day.
Absolutely. And then last question for me, last year when you were here at All-Stars, you talked a lot about that first big win, what that would mean. You got that and then some last year.
Yeah.
So what are the goals now, looking into a new season in 2022?
Well, I think that I obviously still want to win, and I think that that's still my top goal. And I think that it'll also be kind of worth a little bit more this year because I think we're going to see some competitors that we haven't seen in a while. Namely the European players. So I think that it's going to feel different. It's going to feel like more important to win, or I don't know how to describe it, but I think that those wins are going to be even more well earned because of the field sizes getting so much bigger. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, and that's, again, my goal is to just try to play the best that I can, and hopefully that'll result in a win.
And as you said, as the field sizes get deeper, those wins become harder to come by and therefore more valuable.
Right.
I have to follow up. Is it exciting, the prospect of, the field deepening with some of those European players coming over this season?
Totally. And I think it's even more so because, the whole aspect of touring in and of itself is such a monster to tackle, so it'll be exciting to see how some of these European players sort of handle that tour life, because that's just a whole different element and a whole nother struggle in and of itself. So I'm just excited to kind of for them to kind of be more in our world and see how the tour life kind of treats them. And honestly, I hope that it sparks them to want to come over here more and maybe make it even more full-time like most of us are doing. So yeah, it's exciting. I will never shy away from more competition, so bring it on.
Bring it on. Famous words from Missy Gannon. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch Missy Gannon at DGPT All-Star Weekend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Disc Golf Network.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are joined here with Hailey King. Hailey, welcome. How does it feel to be in sunny Arizona?
It's really nice. I got here last night thanks to my sister and her boyfriend TJ, so enjoying this nice morning in Arizona is definitely a change.
When you say thanks to them, what happened? Did they drive you here?
So my car has been having some car trouble, so I had to put it into the shop, and then my sister, she allowed me to drive her car out here, so then when, I can just take it for this first leg of tour. And then my sister also drove 20 of the 28 hours on the way here, so yeah.
Very convenient. So is she here with you then?
She actually flew back this morning. She literally just came to help me with the drive.
Wow, that's a family dedication right there.
Definitely.
Speaking of family, a lot of times we'll see you out there, sometimes with your dad, sometimes with friends, as caddies. What is it for 2022 that you have planned as far as on the course goes? Do you have plans to have caddies every event, or are you going to be alone out there on tour?
I'm not really sure due to the new, there's new COVID rules for the Pro Tour, so it's I can't really guarantee if my family's going to be there and stuff, but my friends are still going to be there. Lindsay, she's still going to be on the road with Brian, so I might have a caddy for a lot of the events.
Yeah, we saw Lindsay out there with you a ton last year, and you guys seem to be having a great time together. So hopefully we'll see you out there again. I guess the big question everyone probably wants to know is how have you been liking the Innova discs you're throwing now, and what are some things that you're looking forward to throwing this weekend?
I mean, I'm really liking the discs. There have been a lot of new spots that have been added to my bag, so it's been really great to throw that new plastic, and I don't know, I'm excited to be throwing these discs this weekend. That's it.
Yeah. When you started playing disc golf, I'm not sure if you were throwing a mixed bag or any particular company, but are there any molds that you're going back to that you used to throw when you first started playing disc golf?
Yeah, I actually threw a lot of Innova and Discmania before I was sponsored by Discraft, so going back to the Gator, the Pig, Destroyer, Wraith, all those discs, I mean, half the bag that I'm throwing is discs that I've been throwing for 7-8 years.
Very cool. Looking at the 2022 tour schedule, if all things go well, we'll be heading over to Europe and a Silver Series in Norway as well. Do you have plans to go over to Europe?
If I can get my passport in time, I've been trying to do that, but since I moved this off-season, it's kind of been a hassle to get a new ID in the first place, so if I can do that, yes, but it's not looking like a good chance right now.
Well, we wish you the best on that passport endeavor.
Thank you.
But with European major happening again this year, that brings another major into play. We've seen you out there perform very well at Elite Series events throughout the past years. Is there anything in particular you're thinking of that you need to get over the hump and just get that major under your belt?
I mean, I think it's just time on the course that I need. I feel like I'm still a kid. Nothing's changed. I feel like I'm still 12 years old. So just getting more experience on these courses, I think, will allow me to get that. Just going through more of the pressure moments so I can capitalize them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This weekend we have a bunch of skills competitions. We've got a doubles round. We've got lots of different formats happening. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to that's happening this weekend?
I'm excited to see the doubles, for sure. I don't know. I like doubles, and yeah.
If you could pick anyone, who would you be partnered with?
I don't know, man. That's a big question.
It is. You don't have to answer.
I'm not going to.
Okay, there you go. That's the answer. All right, well, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Zach. He's got a few questions for you. Thanks, Hailey.
Hey, Hailey. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Last season you found a ton of success on the Pro Tour and on the National Tour, obviously winning the National Tour crown kind of at the end of that final season, and then taking down GMC on the Pro Tour. Basically, you made yourself a lock for All-Stars and one of the top names when people talk about FPO. Do you find yourself seeing that as you go to courses? Do you have run-ins with people that recognize you, or kind of deal with the disc golf paparazzi, so to say, in any way?
I mean, yeah, that definitely happens. Every course I go to, especially now living in Charlotte, there's so many disc golfers. It's actually really cool, and I actually love it just because they love the sport just as much as I do, and we get to bond over that little thing.
That's cool. So that's something you would encourage if fans see you on the course. Don't be afraid to say hi.
Definitely.
That's neat. Transitioning a little bit from off season to this season, we're at a new event with a new format. It's a team format, which is pretty new for something for the disc golf sport. So with all that comes a lot of new strategy compared to a normal singles stroke play event. Is that something you've been thinking about at all, or really kind of leaving it up to the captains?
I'm leaving that up to them. That's their choice.
Wherever they plug you in, you're going to execute.
Yep.
Absolutely. Speaking of new things, it also brings about the draft. Does that excite you at all as a addition to All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, I think that's really cool. There might be some drama that starts, so it'll be funny. Yeah.
Always exciting. It definitely should lend itself to maybe some positive drama. Definitely hoping for that, but additionally, we also have the skills competition this weekend. Do you have your eyes on any particular skill that you feel like you would be a value add to your team?
I mean, I think my forehand's pretty good, but my putting's good. I feel like I'm overall a solid choice for all these, so as long as I can do my job, I don't know.
They could put you into distance, shot shaping, and putting. You feel like your game is rounded enough to be successful wherever you end up.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then kind of transitioning to 2022, what do you look at when you look for goals, when you look for, what you're shooting for a successful season? What are some things that come to your head as we approach and enter this new season?
So I'm not really a goal-orientated person, so I don't really set good goals. It's mainly, get a house. That was my first goal. All my goals is outside of disc golf, because everything that I want to be doing since the day I first picked up a disc, I've been working every single day to better myself in this sport, right? So I just keep by that logic and just think about every day, what can I do better and better,
You've spoken about this before as well, mentioning that you're still working on pieces of your game that totally aren't fleshed out yet. I think you mentioned last year that you were still working on fine-tuning a backhand upshot. Is there anything, with that mindset that you're looking at and have been working on over the off-season to better your game?
I've actually been really happy with where I'm at with my current skill set, I guess. So basically this off-season, I've just straight up been focusing on my mental health and physical health and all that, and, just making sure I have a home, and so does my family.
Those are certainly the priorities when looking at things from a bird's eye view. Thank you, Hailey, for joining us. You can check out Hailey this weekend during DGPT All-Stars on Disc Golf Network, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Hello, everyone. We are back with Drew Gibson at the All-Stars event. Welcome, Drew. How's your travel getting here? Were you already in Arizona?
Yeah, I've been in Arizona for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. So it looks like you played some off-season tournaments here. Tell me about how that went.
I got whipped down by Anthony Barella. Other than that, nothing else too crazy happened.
What happened on the course? What was Anthony doing to get those wins going?
Minus the first hole where he putted 7 times, he made every single putt. So pretty much what happened.
Okay, well, I've seen someone I know make every single putt in certain circumstances, maybe going back to the Tour Championship last year.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, that was
okay.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Talking about that, were you able to carry any of that? Like, it wasn't just the Tour Championships, it was USDGC as well. We saw some crazy moments out of you. You made a giant eagle putt, and then everyone knows that final round of USDGC where you were just landing those 80-footer after 100-footer after 80-footer, seemed like almost every hole. How is putting up a performance like that and then going into the off-season to some smaller tournaments with that kind of confidence?
I just try to play it, it sounds cliche, but I try to play every tournament for what it is. I was prepared for Shelly Sharp in that event, and I just didn't play my best, and AB played good. So I'm hoping to keep that big momentum into this season. There's going to be events we all don't play well at, and there's going to be events where we all play really good at. So I'm just hoping to keep the confidence I built there rolling out throughout this whole year.
Cool. Is there anything else outside of the sport that you've been focusing on or working on in the off-season this year?
Just been enjoying my time off. I'm looking at relocating, buying a house down here in Arizona. I've been playing golf, just been kind of enjoying my little break I get here before I have to start traveling all the time.
Yeah, it goes by quick for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at the 2022 tour plans, are you planning on being at all the Elite Series events? Are you planning on playing the majors, going over to Europe?
I don't think Europe's in the plans for me this year, but I will play all of the Elite Series events, I think, besides Waco. And then I'm going to play some of the Silver Series stuff, like Masters Cup and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some great Silver Series events this year that have a lot of history. Masters Cup, Beaver State. And those smaller events absolutely are great ways to earn points and keep progressing. Looking at this weekend, the All-Stars, there's a lot of different things happening. It's a bit more fun, a bit exhibitionist as far as the style that we are putting on here. Are there any particular games you're looking forward to as far as the putting or anything like that?
Hopefully I just don't get picked last. Hopefully I'm not so much dog water that they pick me absolutely last. That's all I hope for. So,
whose team do you want to be on?
This is the All-Star event. Everyone's good. So, I don't think I have a team, but I think that I for sure would just like to not be the last chosen human being.
All right, understood. Well, good luck this weekend, and I'm going to pass it over to Zach for a couple questions.
You said you don't want to be picked last, so you're not expecting to go early?
Well, I might. Depends on who gets first pick. Eagle, I think Eagle respects my, distance driver game. So if it's up to him, I might get picked early for the distance portion. But just overall, like I said, we're all here to have fun. We're all here to, have a good event. We're all here to, just show our skills off. So either way, it's not that big of a deal. I just don't think anyone wants to get picked last for anything. Even if it's kickball, at least pick me second to last.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you that little extra sting if you're last off the board.
Last, it's like I'm dog water if you're picking me last.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you just brought it up. Maybe you might be a value for the skills competition, given that you have pretty exceptional distance. Do you think you're a lock just for that competition, or do you actually feel like you're putting confidently and maybe could be considered to be a part of the putting skills competition instead?
I think that, not to say that I couldn't be picked for that, but I think that my distance is proven over much more time than my putting, over, a decent amount of time. So if I was the captain, I'd pick me and put me in the distance slot. But, wherever they put me, I'm going to do my best and, try my best for the team. So just kind of wherever I fit.
That's a great mentality, and it kind of points to what makes this event different than a typical Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's a new format. It's a team format. Brings lots of new strategy compared to a typical stroke play. Have you thought about any of the strategy, or are you just leaving that up to the captains?
I think I'm just going to play. Whatever. If Eagle has a strategy or, whatever, then cool. If not, then, no big deal. I'm just trying to get out here and just, enjoy the weather, enjoy the, event that everyone set up for us, and just try to enjoy the week.
And it is a beautiful venue. I think the last kind of new component to All-Star Weekends is the doubles competition on Saturday. Have you played doubles in a competitive setting before?
Simon Lazat and I played like a bring your own partner doubles tournament one time, and I think we played insanely good. But I mean, no, obviously most of us are just stroke play singles players. You know, I mean, it's like asking Tiger Woods, you know, hey, do you play doubles? Like, I'm sure he's played a scramble before, but you know, it's not, you know, what he does all the time. So I think that the answer for most of us would just be, we're just here to, you know, participate in the event, and you know, hopefully we all have a bunch of fun. It's kind of like that's the mentality I'm taking into this week.
Sure, and great way to kind of get the season warmed up and get reintroduced to 2022. Transitioning and looking like towards the next couple of tournaments early in the season, these competitions are kind of featuring some distance-heavy courses, especially in Las Vegas. Do you feel like it's important to perform well out the gate, given that we are kind of heading into a new season and coming off of a year where you had so much success?
I think either you start really strong or you finish really strong. I think that's what people remember. I think in the beginning of the year, you know, everyone's excited about disc golf, so everyone's watching the coverage, paying attention, you know, all that type of stuff. And I think at the end of the year, that's what people sit on for the whole off season. You know, people are still commenting on my Instagram about Pro Tour Finals putting. You know, if that happened in June of last year, no one would be talking about it still, you know, because there'd be other events that happened. So I think you either got to come out, you know, playing really well, or you got to finish the year playing really well. I think if your middle stretch is the best, then you're kind of going to not get left behind, but I think you're going to not get the promotion you maybe deserve.
That's a very interesting insight. You know, you kind of mentioned that everybody's been sitting on the Tour Championship performance over the offseason. Have you kind of started to see any of the disc golf paparazzi? Do you get recognized when you show up to courses, you know, when you show up to a new city or even playing around locally?
Well, yeah, like if I go to a disc golf course, like for sure people, you know, will know who I am. Like I could go probably play whatever course within a couple miles of here and someone will know who I am. But as of like normal life, I mean, I get recognized, you know, at dinners and the airport and stuff like that, but not as much as, you know, someone who's an actual, you know, superstar.
Sure, but very exciting being in the community and seeing that growth and starting to see some of that fandom develop. You know, my last question for you, looking at 2022 and coming off of such a great year in 2021, what are your goals? What would make 2022 a successful season for Drew Gibson?
If I just play to my potential, I think it's a good season for me. I think that I've proven what my potential is. I think I've proven that, you know, when I play at a top, you know, when I play my best, I play at a top level, and I think that if I continue to do that and continue to perform the way I know I can, that I don't know what the limit is, but, you know, I think I have a long ways to go. You know, I think that I can win any tournament I sign up for and win any tournament that, you know, I'm playing well at. So that's just kind of, I'm not trying to make too many big goals or big, you know, claims. I just think that if I play my game, that I have a chance.
We'll look forward to Drew Gibson playing to his full potential at All-Stars this weekend and throughout 2022. Thanks for joining us today, Drew.
Yeah, thank you.
We are back at the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Stars press conference, joined by Katrina Allen. Thank you, Katrina, for joining us today. How has it been in sunny Arizona?
I've been here since January, but I'm not sick of it, knowing the weather everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, it would be hard to get sick of this weather, I feel like. Have you been playing any tournaments in your off-season here?
No, due to sponsor changes, I actually hid in a small field by our Airbnb for about a month, and then just got out, played some rounds in Phoenix, and so this will be my first tournament-style event.
Yeah, with how big disc golf is growing, it must be difficult to get out there and practice new discs and new molds that you're trying to keep a secret, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. So how is the new bag treating you so far? How are you liking your new discs? This is the first season that you've ever created your own mold, is that correct?
Yeah. I know, so much excitement. I actually was with DGA when I was an amateur, so I'm actually throwing some of those same molds, a lot of their newer molds, and it's been fun. DGA isn't known for a huge lineup, but what they do have, they've perfected, and I've had no trouble feeling like I have all the shots to start the season. And then, getting to create my own disc that's tough to put in words. That's really exciting. We're just doing some pictures with my disc. I was kind of looking at it, and it kind of all came back. It's really an honor to have my own disc.
Very cool. Has that been a very hands-on process? Have you been going to the factory and stuff, or has it been mostly
I don't know.
Communications?
Yeah, just more like phone and I don't know the science. I just know how I want it to fly. So I let them do that, and they kind of talk me through it.
Very neat. Well, I hope that turns out really well. Looking forward to seeing the new discs.
Yeah. It's approved, so
wow.
I'll be throwing it this weekend, hopefully.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It is called the Vortex.
The Vortex.
Yeah.
We'll be looking out for it.
Yeah.
2022 tour plans. Are you planning on hitting all the Elite Series events? Any Silver Series on your schedule?
All the Elite Series, all the majors, depending on if we can go overseas or how that all ends up working out. I do plan to go if I can. And then I'll play Belton and Masters Cup, and then I think, is Beaver State Fling a Silver Series?
Yes,
I think those are the three for sure, but I actually will also be taking some of the Silver Series off to just take a break. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I know how dedicated you are to your routine and health and mental game and everything. Is there anything for 2022 that you've added to that routine on top of what you've already been doing for the past couple of years?
Just trying to focus more. I feel like I, really got a great routine last year, and I'm obviously still doing that, still running. Want to tap into just being a little bit more confident and a little bit more in the moment on the course, not getting too ahead of myself as far as if I have a rough start or a really good start, but just trying to stay I know that's kind of the goal, but just focusing more on that. And I think it sounds weird, but with more and more competition, I'm hoping I find it easier to just focus on myself and my own game and not what everyone else is doing around me. I feel like maybe sometimes last year I was a little worried about what I should be shooting or where I should be at score-wise during a round, and just really trying to stay one shot at a time.
Very cool. Well, this weekend should be a great opportunity to get into that relaxed mindset and have a little bit more fun with it.
Yeah.
We saw you do great last year at All-Stars where you and Kona took down the doubles together.
Yep.
So good luck this weekend, and I'm going to pass it over to Zach for a few more questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to kind of build on what Evan was saying there, new format, team format, and you're a team captain.
Right,
heading into All-Star this weekend. Have you been thinking about the strategy at all?
Yeah, so what I thought I would do, because, obviously I have a set players that I would like to choose, but I was thinking because we're doing, putting, accuracy, and distance.
Yep.
And I thought about writing down tonight what I personally think each player, so say, since she's a friend, I'll say Heather Young, right? And I think she's an incredible putter, really accurate. And then I would say distance would be, out of the three, her least, right? And so I kind of want to number each one. And as they get taken off, I'm going to kind of have a strategy where I'm okay, I need a putter. These two are my strongest putters for what has been taken already. So that's my plan. Hopefully Paige didn't hear that. Dang it.
Shoot. It's live. Dang it.
Shh, it's live.
That sounds like a really strong plan, especially with it being the first year that we're doing something like this. So you, Paige, Eagle, and Calvin really kind of get to build this for the disc golf world. Which,
that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Are you? It sounds like you're excited, but how are you feeling about the draft?
Like how? What do you mean? Like how?
Yeah, are you nervous, or is it just excitement?
No, I think it's just all fun. And as someone who's been on tour for 12 years, this might be my 12th year, 13th year, I'm not sure. Either way, any kind of fun thing like this is, to get out of that super serious weekend is always fun for me. So I'm really looking forward to it.
A welcome addition. You just mentioned you're planning on lining out where you think players will be strong or weak in the skills competition. Have you thought about where you'll put yourself?
I was thinking either distance or accuracy first, but I feel like I'm just as solid as a putter, and I think I'll probably put me. I'm not sure. I forget with the draft. Do I get to choose? Do I put myself first? I think is what they said in the first round.
I believe with the you'll be able to determine any of your team will be able to kind of be plug and played into the different skills
after you.
Draft, yeah.
Okay. So that is a secret strategy that I just told everyone about. Okay, dang it. Shoot.
Evan also mentioned you played doubles with Kona last year and kind of took down that portion of All-Stars.
Yeah.
Is that something you enjoy? Do you like playing doubles?
Yeah, actually, I spent a lot of off seasons here in Phoenix, and up in West Phoenix, they do doubles, and I've played that for years and years. And I actually felt that Kona and I did so well because of our strategy. So I don't know if it's just off seasons of playing doubles, but there's definitely a strategy to it.
Would you like to reveal any of that strategy? Or is that
no, I would absolutely not, because I don't think I saw a single men's team have the correct strategy last year, and I'm not telling you guys.
Smart. I don't blame you for not
revealing.
Kind of transitioning away from All-Stars this weekend and looking at the season ahead. Two-time world champion, tons of success on the Pro Tour. The sport's growing at a faster clip than we've ever seen it. Have you started to see more of that disc golf paparazzi? Are you getting recognized in places off course?
Yeah, actually, I was saying to someone, I went for the Phoenix Ladies Open last year, and I was trying to play a practice round, and my first 6 holes, I had people recognize me. And so for 6 straight holes, I either took a picture, signed a disc, or, I think that's as much as I wanted to play a practice round. We're there. I think we've made it, because I used to go play practice rounds at that same course and maybe not even see another person.
So you would say it's something that's exciting and you welcome?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Also with this season, it looks like the FPO field is going to get deeper, at least at a few events, with plenty of talent coming over from Europe. Is that something that you're thinking about or excited about as you head into 2022?
The more competition, the more it'll push the FPO to shoot better scores and play well. So I'm always up for that, because I'm extremely competitive, and I've always enjoyed winning tournaments, playing my best. So I feel like more competition will bring that. So, yeah.
And I think you mentioned this in this interview earlier, but do you feel like that allows you to focus a little more on your game?
Right, yeah. Because, if there's, say, 15 of us who are capable of winning, obviously it's an individual game, and it's even more so when there's more people in the hunt.
Absolutely. You've, as mentioned,
which can be a positive thing, because you're not really focused on what other people are doing, because there's so many people trying to do the same thing.
There's so many
definitely
people
gets you in the right mindset if you can focus on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so many people capable and being able to take it down. That makes a lot of sense, and that's really an interesting thing to think about that you maybe haven't had to think about in previous
And they're probably all feeling the same pressure, so the less you worry about it, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As we're talking about, you found a lot of success last year, and with the new sponsor this year, this season it looks to be bigger, better than ever.
Yeah.
What are your goals heading into 2022?
What are my goals? I wouldn't mind another world championship, but really, I've talked about this in the past season. Just staying disciplined to my routine. I set a lot of smaller goals, whether they're weekly or monthly or throughout the season, to get to those bigger goals, like winning as much as possible and staying consistent and finding those big wins. And like I said, if I focus on my smaller goals, like working out and eating healthy and, staying mentally healthy out there, I feel like those will all come instead of focusing on saying like a certain rating or things like that.
Focus on the little goals and the big goals will follow.
And the big goals come, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You can catch Katrina this weekend, first at the draft on Thursday night, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday during Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Stars. Thanks again.
Yeah.
All right, we are back at the 2022 press conference for the DGPT All-Star event in Tucson, Arizona. We're joined by Deann Carey. Welcome, Deann. How does it feel to be in sunny Arizona?
Feels amazing. Way better than North Carolina right now.
Is that where you spent most of your off-season, in North Carolina?
Yeah, we spent our whole off-season in North Carolina.
Cool. What did you get up to there? Any new changes?
Yeah, we the biggest thing is that we sold our van and we bought a fifth-wheel trailer to tour in, and so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Great. So a lot more space. Anything in particular that you're going to be doing with it? Like, are you getting a new couch? Are you getting a new TV like, that you couldn't fit in the van?
Everything.
Everything. Living life to the max.
Yes. And it has a shower.
Oh,
which is the best part.
That's a bonus. That's a bonus over the van life. So in 2022, you are now on Team Champion with Innova, and also your husband, AJ Carey, is with Team Innova as well. Mm-hmm. Has it been cool to be able to throw discs and try out new discs together at all?
Yeah, if he would stop stealing all my discs. I'm just kidding. No, it's been something that we've wanted to do for the longest time, which was be on the same team, because it does make things a lot easier. We can definitely share discs, and he threw Innova in the past, so it just makes it a whole lot easier.
Cool. Well, you guys are known as some of the, heaviest grinders on tour as far as being at all the events, all the Silver Series. You had an amazing performance at Resistance Discs Open last year, taking down the win. Anything in particular that happened at that event that you're going to try and take into the 2022 season to put your name up on the leaderboard?
Really just stick to my game plans. Don't stray away from them. Don't try to do anything that I know that's out of my comfort zone, and just play my game, and then hopefully I'll be at the top of the leaderboards.
Cool. Any new skills you're working on for that you're going to bring to the 2022 season?
Definitely been working on my sidearm a lot. That hopefully will help me shave off a few strokes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to have a well-rounded game and be able to throw all the shots. Here in Tucson, I know you haven't quite seen the course yet. You're going to go practice after this interview here, but do you feel like this kind of golf suits your style? This more open golf course style, warm, dry weather?
If you would have asked me whenever I first started touring, I would say no, that I'm more of a woods player. But I've come to really appreciate the open courses, and I'm not really one on an open course to try to go out and flex everything. I'm just going to throw a hyzer as far as I can and then try to get it as close to the basket.
Cool. And there's a lot of skills competitions, too, that are going to take place, so you'll have a lot of chance to do some putting and show off some of your other skills as well. What is one thing in 2022 one place in 2022 you're looking forward to going to on tour that you have never been before?
That I've never been before. Is there any new places on tour?
Are you going to Europe?
Hopefully. Maybe. If we can make it work.
That'd be pretty cool.
But just excited to get back out there and start the grind all over again.
All right. Well, thanks, Deann. I'm going to pass the mic over to Zach for a few questions.
Kind of looking ahead to this weekend, All-Stars is new format, team format, lots of strategy kind of compared to a typical stroke play event. Is that something you're thinking about at all, or are you just here to play disc golf and have fun?
I'm just here to play disc golf, go with the flow, and try to beat the course.
Absolutely. Have you one new component to the event this year is the draft. Have you thought about that at all? Is it something that's exciting or a welcome addition to All-Star Weekend in your mind?
I'm excited to see how it goes. I haven't really thought about it too much because I don't like to put that much pressure on anything, so I'm just really, what happens, happens.
Should be a fun opportunity for everyone to kind of see players that we haven't seen over the course of the offseason yet. So I know fans are definitely looking forward to that component. Also new this weekend is the skills competition. Have you thought about where you might be the best value add for your team, putting, accuracy, or distance?
Probably putting. I'm not exactly sure. It really just depends. I'm just ready to get out there and see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of final question about new format changes and different things with All-Stars this year. We have doubles going on Saturday. Do you enjoy playing in a doubles pair? Is that something you've done competitively in the past?
I have played a good bit of doubles. Me and my husband played AM doubles, and we won in 2017. And then me and another partner won amateur doubles in 2018. So I've thoroughly enjoyed doubles.
Needless to say, you've done thinking. You've done a lot of thinking about how to play well in a doubles pair too. Those are some pretty big wins in that format. Are you more of a run it or lay up doubles partner?
It depends on who I'm partnered with, and really just the strategy there. But doubles, sometimes you got to lay up, sometimes you can just go for it.
Sure. Okay, and I have to ask, if you could be partners with anybody, any doubles partner out of the FPO field that's here for All-Stars, is there anybody that comes to mind?
We have a lot of strong women out there this week, so really anybody, I can't really think off the top of my head.
No, fair enough. There's so many talented players that I'm sure it'd be joy to be partnered with anybody. Speaking of talented players in the field, looking ahead to the rest of the season, it actually looks like the field's going to get even deeper with some players coming over from Europe, at least at a few events. Are you excited about the prospect of additional competition kind of being injected into the FPO field?
I am very excited to see the FPO growth. I feel like we've worked really hard on trying to get the FPO side at the point that we have now, and I'm just excited to see it and hopefully even get even bigger in the future.
Absolutely, a sign of more competition to come, hopefully. And then I guess my last question would just be kind of looking ahead to next season in general. You had a Silver Series win last year. You had some pretty impressive top tens, including one at Throw Pink at the end of the year. Do you set goals? Do you have any goals that you're thinking about as you head into a new season this year?
So my goal since my first year on tour in 2019 has been to make the championship at the end of the year. And I've done that successfully for the last 3 years. Last year my goal was to get a bye, but I fell short of that just a little bit. But this year I definitely want the bye, but I really don't put too much pressure on that. I just know if I'm playing at my best, it's going to happen.
I'm sure that's a great mindset to carry into a new season, especially at the beginning of the year. Thank you for joining us, Deann. You can watch Deann this weekend during Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Stars, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Disc Golf Network.